Over 40 students and faculty gathered on Stork Tower lawn Thursday evening for a vigil in support of survivors of sexual assault and opposite to the federal government's repeal of campus sexual assault policies. The event was part of the National Vigil for Survivors of Campus Sexual Assault, a national demonstration of solidarity survivors in response to recent threats to campus sexual assault policies. Roshonda Rowe Everin, a fourth-year religious studies major, hosted the UCSB Vigil and spoke about her own experiences with sexual assault on campus and the way the university responded. "I did not have justice," she said to the group. "I'm using my voice today, and I pray that you all continue to use your voices to change somebody else's life." Roshonda Rowe Everin read aloud a list of demands addressed to the university at the Thursday Vigil. She intends the demands to improve the way UCSB handles cases of sexual violence. Secretary of Education Betsy DeVos announced last month new interim guidelines that would repeal Obama-era Title IX policies. On Sunday, California Governor Jerry Brown voted Senate Bill 169 legislation that would have codified Title IX policies on California college campuses. Irvin invited Vigil attendees to write down what freedom means to them on a poster board that read Uhuru, a word that means freedom in Swahili. When the Vigil ended, student expressions covered the board. "Freedom is not being scared to live my life," one student wrote. Another student wrote that freedom is not breaking down every time they think about their experience of sexual assault. "Freedom is knowing my loved ones will be beside me when I feel whole again one day," another attendee added to the board. The word Uhuru was also spelled out with tape and candles in front of Stork Tower. Attendees planned to light the candles once the sun went down, but they were unable to because of the strong winds. Approximately 650 survivors and allies attended the main vigil in Washington, D.C. in front of the U.S. Department of Education. News and support of the event spread through hashtags such as #StopBetsy and #SupportSurvivors. UCSB was the only UC to participate in the National Vigil. Attendees were encouraged to share what freedom means to them on poster boards at the Vigil for Sexual Assault Survivors on Thursday night. Irvin said she wanted to host a vigil at UCSB to draw attention to the survivors of sexual assault and urge students to take action when they see injustice. Irvin also read aloud a list of demands addressed to the university, such as creating and funding a survivor resource center in Isla Vista, changing how law enforcement handles sexual assault investigations, and providing education on sexual assault and interpersonal violence for the UCSB fraternity and sorority system. Students presented the list of demands to Chancellor Henry T. Yang at a meeting in May that lasted nearly 9 hours. The university has since met several of the demands, such as providing mandatory sensitivity training for the UC Police Department to address sexual assault and interpersonal violence, as well as changing jurisdiction and protocol for how cases are managed. Faculty members from UCSB's Campus Advocacy, Resources and Education Office also attended the vigil. CARE Director Brianna Conway said she believes the vigil was a good opportunity for the UCSB to take part in the national dialogue for sexual assault on college campuses. The more often that we can engage in honest, thoughtful conversations, the more we can work towards creating change and creating improvements for our students, Conway told in The Nexus. "The survivors I serve every year are in my thoughts and on my mind more days than they're not," she added. Irvin said she wants sexual assault survivors at UCSB to understand their own power, to share their own stories, and know there is hope for the future. "I know that the vigil is going to help somebody," Irvin said. "It's going to make somebody not want to be silent, make somebody want to shout out from their lungs. We encourage you to take part in helping sexual assault survivors recover. If that is not a possibility, then you have an option to donate. If none of that appeals, then you can just take this information and notice that sexual assault survivors are having a very difficult time. You can help."